Hey everyone, how are you? My name is Sierra Quitiquit. I am a professional athlete. I'm immensely passionate about protecting our planet, especially around avoiding single-use plastic. And I'm here today to chat with you all about creating some lifestyle tips to help you reduce your single-use plastic footprint. So I'll just wait a second for people to join in. I'll ask you guys, where are you all from? I'm from Park City, Utah. Apologies, there's currently a helicopter flying overhead, should be gone shortly. Again, my name is Sierra Quitiquit. I am a professional skier and the co-founder of Plastic Free Fridays. I became passionate about climate change through the lens of skiing, actually. As a little girl, we used to have this super long ski season that would start in October and end late in the spring. And year by year, I watched the snowpack diminish. And that led me to realize that there was a major disconnect between how quickly and rapidly climate change was happening and the global opinion and global response. So that led me to my work dedicated to climate change. I'm also a surfer, so I'm immensely passionate about enjoying the ocean and protecting our beautiful ocean. So it's such an honor to be here with you guys today, teamed up with Oceanic for Plastic Free July, to give you some recommendations on how we can all do better to reduce our single-use plastic footprint. So I'm going to jump in and just share some really easy tips and tricks. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in, and I'll keep an eye out for them and respond as we go. So my number one tip and trick is to always carry a reusable water bottle. It doesn't have to be a fancy, expensive stainless steel one. It can honestly just be an old pickle jar, but always have one of these babies on you. Staying hydrated is super, super important. And the average American actually uses over 140 plastic water bottles per year, which is an astounding statistic. You take that statistic and you multiply it by hundreds of millions of people, and that's a lot of plastic we're sending to landfills just to stay hydrated. So don't forget to carry your reusable water bottle. You've got your more expensive and your more affordable options, so both are accessible to you. I'm a huge skincare fanatic. I love beauty products, and that's been one of my bigger challenges around finding plastic-free packaging. So I'm going to share some of my personal care things with you guys. One is a comb. This is a wooden comb. Using products that are made from wood are fantastic because they are biodegradable, meaning that if this should ever become redundant to me because it breaks, it'll go back to the earth. So that's a great thing to look for when you're trying to avoid plastic, is look for products that can return to the earth without breaking down into microplastics and into our ocean and our water supply chain. So this is a little comb that I bought I think at Whole Foods over a decade ago. It's still going strong. Deodorant. So this is a cool product by Meow Meow Tweet, and they're American based. It's a natural product. It's a little bit of a different usage. You just scoop a little bit out and rub it in, which I think is nice because they're talking a lot about lymphatic massage lately, and so I get a couple little massage strokes in while I'm putting on my deodorant every morning. And cool enough, this is actually a product of Loop as well. So not only is this product packaged in glass and aluminum, but you can send this packaging back to Loop, and they'll take responsibility for it. So that it's actually a zero waste product, not just a single-use plastic free. So look out for Loop and any of their products. This is a really cool new product by Everest, and it is a shampoo concentrate. It's packaged in aluminum. There's a plastic lid, but the company will take back these plastic lids and recycle them themselves. But the cool thing about this product is that it is a concentrate, and so this is actually the equivalent to like this much shampoo and conditioner. You just use a small size amount, which is great just for reducing your consumption at large. If you don't own a bamboo toothbrush, it's time to get on the train. This one I love because not only is the handle biodegradable, made from wood, but the bristles are actually natural fibers as well. So no plastic here. So that's something to look for when you're choosing a plant-based toothbrush, is something that is also boasting no plastic bristles. And for anybody just joining now, I am just going through some plastic-free products that help me reduce my single-use plastic footprint. If you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in. So I am a new dog owner. I've got my little puppy Chihuahua running around back here, and she's the sweetest girl. And something I didn't realize about owning a dog is that there's like a lot of little plastic things that come with it. So I've been trying to do my best on that front. And little Layla lady's a tiny baby Chihuahua, and she gets very cold. I live in the mountains, and so I needed to get some clothes for her. And of course, I went on Amazon. I found all of these polyester, faux fur lined things, and I was like, I'm gonna do better. So I went to Etsy and I found this adorable wool sweater. So wool is a natural fiber that is brushed from lambs or sheep's, and the great thing about wool for dogs and for human beings is that we all have these clothing that shed these little tiny baby microfibers, and up to 70% of our clothing is actually made from fossil fuels. It's made from plastic-based fabrics such as polyester, lycra, and as we wear these polyester-based or these plastic-based fabrics, they actually shed these little microfibers of plastic out into the world, into the air. As we wash them, they shed and they end up in our water cycle. And they're saying that this is where a lot of our plastic consumption is coming from, is from clothing. So whenever you can, when you're shopping for clothing, be sure to look for natural fibers. My favorites are, in the winter months, wool and cashmere, also cotton, hemp, and there's some really cool new innovative fabrics out there like Tencel and Modal. And then if you can't buy a natural fiber, we can look for companies that are using recycled polys, which is better because we really need to do away with all virgin plastics. We really need to encourage companies and brands to no longer be extracting oil and gas out of the ground and creating new plastic materials. There's enough plastic on Earth to last us all multiple lifetimes, so we need to use the plastic that's already in existence, recycle it, upcycle it into new things. But when you can, choose cotton, choose hemp, choose wool, choose cashmere. I think you'll also find that these fabrics have a way longer life cycle, which is another really important thing in the sustainability movement. Fast fashion at one point was clouding 45 seasons in a fashion year, meaning that they were targeting all of us as consumers to consume at 45 different points throughout the year, from Valentine's Day to the first day of spring, to all of these unnecessary consumption points where so many of us became used to bringing something in, wearing it once, twice, or an average of only 3 times, and then sending it off to landfill. So another great way to reduce your plastic footprint is not only by buying natural fibers, but also looking at the lifespan of things. This garment, for example, is made from cotton, and it's a shared piece that I got from a girlfriend, which I love and adore. She's already expressed to me that she would like to have it back at some point. So essentially it's just on borrow for the season, and I will give it back to her. And I hope that this, beautiful banana top remains in mine or someone else's closet for the entire duration. And if this top should break down, I would mend it. I would sew any holes that come up and give it a second lifestyle. So there's so many different ways to be sustainable out there. I'd love to hear from any of you guys. If you have any suggestions or any talking points you would like to cover on how to reduce your single-use plastic footprint. Another great tip is to always carry bags. These are little grocery bags. I take them to the market so that I don't have to put produce in plastic bags. If I forget them, it's totally fine. I just, I don't feel the need to stuff, a couple of cucumbers into a plastic bag to go put it on the scale. So I will just wash my produce before I get it home. And they're actually saying, interestingly enough, that most of our plastic consumption as human beings is coming from food packaging. So I was recently having some health challenges, and my doctor did a pretty extensive blood panel, and I came back with high levels of certain plastic toxicities. And it made me realize, wow, we really have a problem here. All of this plastic that is not meant to withhold the elements is breaking down into smaller and smaller particles and eventually ending up in our drinking water, and we are all consuming plastics. And there's new research coming out that is pointing to the infertility crisis, the mental health crisis, and all of these things linked to disruption in our endocrine system, our hormonal system, caused by plastics. So I find that really interesting. I also noticed that when I wear plastic-based fabrics like polyester shirts and things like that, my body must not like it because my sweat smells. If I'm working out in a polyester, it's like my body is repelling it, so it can't be good for your health. So even when I'm choosing, workout gear, I'm looking for cottons or hemps or tencels or modal fabrics. Someone here is asking, what is your perspective on individual versus systemic change? So that is a great question. Thank you so much for OG Test 2020. I am of the belief system that we are living amongst the most critical moment in history, and we need massive change right now if we are to meet this moment in time to avoid the catastrophes that the scientists are telling us are coming. So I'm an all hands on deck sort of girl. I think that we need a bottom-up, top-down approach. I've had opportunities to speak to my politicians before around creating policy shift and advocating for governmental policy and regulations around business practices so that we can really solve this crisis, because that's what's really going to move the meter. And the politicians have responded to me by saying, you know what, Sierra, I really need you to help shift public policy. And so it's the chicken or the egg. We're all part of the system. We're all part of contributing. And certainly we need government policy. We need extended corporate responsibility for products, but we also need the public in general outcrying and demanding this. So that is where each one of you is empowered in being the solution that we need for this critical moment. So don't think that you're just one person out there, and don't negate your power by advocating for what it is that you as a consumer want and need. Not only by voting with your dollar, by supporting, small brands that are making plant-based toothbrush, or, brands that are producing tools like this final straw that can help reduce your single-use plastic footprint, but writing the brands that aren't doing anything and telling them that they're losing your loyalty. I have certain brands that I absolutely love and adore, and I'm just refusing to shop because they're not getting with the times. They're not meeting this critical moment. And that's voting. That's voting with your dollar, and you guys all have that responsibility and that power. So I just want to see if there's any more questions out there before we wrap this up. I hope you guys are all practicing Plastic-Free July. I know it's not easy. The system is designed for us to fail. The system wants us to use plastic. It's run by the oil and gas industry. But we all have to be leaders within ourselves, within our communities at large, and refuse. Speaking of refusal, that brings me to my nonprofit that I founded alongside my co-founder, Meg Haywood-Sullivan. It's called Plastic-Free Fridays, and we are a movement to create a better world by challenging people to go one day per week by refusing single-use plastics. And through that refusal, you'll learn all sorts of new habits. You'll find community members that are also practicing on their single-use plastic refusal journey. So I invite each one of you to join us on Plastic-Free Fridays to try your best. One of our taglines is progress over perfection, and it's okay if you fail, but I think you'll find that as you're out there practicing, you'll learn about new products, you'll learn new habits, and you'll notice that as the weeks and months go by, your plastic consumption lowers and lowers. So if anybody else has any questions, I'm here. Otherwise, you can connect with me. My Instagram is @Sierra. That's SIERRA. Or you can join our movement at Plastic-Free Fridays and follow us over there. We're always posting and resharing amazing plastic warriors that are doing great things to help us reduce our plastic footprint. Lots of product shares on new exciting innovations around beauty, household items, clothing that are reducing plastic. And I just want to applaud everyone out there that is doing the work. In cahoots, progress over perfection. Yes, that's what it's all about. There's so many people that are quick to point the finger and cancel each other out. All we can do is try and try our best. We need a top-down, bottom-up approach. We need all hands on deck right now. And I just want to give a shout out and thanks to Oceanic Global for all of their fantastic work to protect our marine life, keep our oceans clean. And if you haven't gotten involved in an organization yet, please join us at Plastic-Free Fridays and continue to follow the work of Oceanic Global. Thank you, everyone. Sending you all the best wishes for your Plastic-Free Fridays or Plastic-Free July journey. Please feel free to reach out to me. Take care. Bye-bye.